Quite frankly, I think the people of Arizona prefer to have local government as opposed to a concrete jungle government, which, by the way, right now has a big fence around it. The fact that the federal government continually is eroding away Arizona's tax base by land that is going from private sector to the federal possession. I've fought for payment in lieu of taxes so that PILT was originally designed to pay Arizona the tax base that we would have had, because the federal government under FLPMA, it's an acronym for a Federal Land Policy Management Act, they decided that they weren't going to liquidate land in Arizona and put it into private hands, but instead we'll pay you what you would have coming in property tax. Well, as with all good federal programs, that's exactly what they have not done. So between PILT, and by the way, people want to talk about, well, we should be able to afford better roads, better schools, better this, better. Yeah, we should be. But the federal government has seen to it that, and Congress, quite frankly, has seen to it that we don't have the tax base in order to afford that. Instead, the left wants to constantly go after people's property tax, increase that. They want to go after income tax. They want to increase that. Instead of allowing our government to be restrained to the point that we can afford it. Now, if the federal government decides to come across with PILT, it's actually pennies in lieu of trillions. But be that as it may, if they decide to actually pay us what they agreed to pay us back when this bill was, the bill turned into law, then we have a different situation on our hands. The question becomes, is the land inside of Arizona, is it Arizona land, or are we simply a territory? In the 1787 debates, September 5th, I believe, with Elbridge Gerry, they were talking about whether or not the land should be in the hands of the federal government for arsenals, forts, magazines, dockyards, all the needful military items. And Elbridge Gerry said, well, if we reach a point where the federal government owns land in a state and owns too much land, could they not awe that state into submission to be nothing more than a large federal enclave? Quite frankly, I think the people of Arizona prefer to have local government as opposed to a concrete jungle government, which, by the way, right now has a big fence around it.